Just we'll start.
Good morning. Am I audible? Hello. Actually, it is afternoon. Good
Yes.
afternoon.
Yes,
Am
sir,
I
you are
audible?
Yes,
Uh,
sir, you're audible.
Good morning, Chaya ma'am. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, ma'am. So I guess we are good to go now.
Yeah.
All right. Then, first of all, I would be explaining and telling you all the participants that the best paper will be selected based on the originality of research, topic relevance to the conference, the research goal, research analysis, order of presenting the research idea, and clarity of problem. So we are really grateful to Chaimam. She is the session chair for this track 1. So just to read out her brief resume, she has completed her graduation in computer engineering from Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, Pune, and post-graduation in computer engineering from Pune Institute of Computer Technology. She is also PhD in computer engineering from D.Y. Patil Institute of Technology, Pune University. She's an associate professor. She's an associate professor in computer engineering department of MKSSS, Cummins College of Engineering of Women, Karvenagar, Pune, from the past 22 years, as well as she is life member of Computer Society of India. Her areas of interest include machine learning, image processing, multimedia, operating system, and compilers. She's received Cambridge International Certificate for Teachers and Trainers by Wipro. Apart from this, she has published 25 papers in 25 international journals, conferences, publications. She has a copyright on her name and recently granted a patent in India. She has conducted many expert sessions at various institutes. She was an organizing committee member, session chair, and reviewer for various national and international conferences. Recently, she's published a book on designing user interfaces with data science approach with IGI Global Publication of USA. She was a part of Genuineness World Record event on training program in 24 hours organized by AICT and JUVI. She also won second prize in National Hackathon on teaching, learning and evaluation. Apart from this, she is an enthusiastic marathon runner and trekker. We welcome you, madam, to UPG College and to our conference. It will be, we are really grateful that you accepted our invitation and your guidance will be of great importance to us. Thank you. And now session is open. I guess, ma'am, can we call the first participant here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Sure.
So the first person author name is Dr. Meera Matthew with Sefali Swati. Their paper ID is 1001. Panopticon surveillance with reference to a mushrooming social media app, ethical and legal ramifications. So are you here, authors? Hello. Am I audible, authors? Dr. Meena Matthew and Miss Sefali Swati. Just let me check if they are here. So if I'm audible to others, you can tell that I'm audible, because I don't think they've joined.
Yes, sir. You're audible.
I'm audible. Okay, all right then. So can we go for the next paper? Then Deepali Handgar and Suman Singh. The paper ID is 1002, Yoga Pose Classification from Images Using Transfer Learning Approach. Are you there, Deepali ma'am? And yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you can now, before you begin, as I explained you the rules of presentation. So keep in mind that maximum of 5 to 7 minutes will be given. So please keep a timer, because we are running short of time. So within 5 to 7 minutes, you have to wind up your presentation. So maybe now Deepali Handgar and Suman Singh, over to you. You can share your screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know if it is visible.
You have opened your camera, but yeah, now it is visible. Yeah, you can share full screen and then you
Yeah, I
can
have
start
shared it.
speaking.
Is
Okay.
my PPT visible?
Yeah, it is. It is. Go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So our research topic is yoga pose classification from images using transfer learning approach. I'm Suman Singh. My partner is Dipali, and under Harsali ma'am, Dr. Harsali ma'am, and Dr. Jyotsna ma'am, we have completed this research. So the first is the introduction. So yoga is a type of physical activity that consists of postures. Also, we call it asanas in continuous sequence, along with regulated breathing. Yoga was originated in ancient India. In this paper, we are using some pre-trained deep learning CNN models, which are helping us to classify yoga poses of each images. And later, we are comparing their result and analyzing which of these models are giving us the best result. So 10 models we have used here. So all are have been mentioned here, like VGG 16, VGG 19, Inception V3, DenseNet, ResNet, MobileNet, etc. Next, it is the aim. Our aim is to classify yoga pose images using the transfer learning and then compare the results. So there is not exactly any similar kind of paper, but related to this topic, there are few we have got. So from the author Devabrata Swain, there is one yoga pose monitor system using yoga pose monitoring system using deep learning, where he is using a CNN model for extracting the features of the images, and later for as there is a sequence, so they are using the LSTM. So LSTM model is basically used for a sequence kind of data, where to understand the occurrence of sequence from the video frames on video. Later, there is Case Abarna, who is using the that paper title is the skeleton pose estimation, which are based on classification of yoga asanas using deep learning technique, where in this paper 1D CNN model and RNN model are used for classification and feature selection, and also OpenPose and CentralNet pre-trained models are using, where the pre-trained models are using, where the better results were obtained with CNN and the OpenPose. So later there are more two papers, that is Josephine Jose, which is the topic is the yoga asanas identification using deep learning approach. So here they are using a pre-trained model, the transfer learning models, and VGG 16 is giving them the best accuracy, that is 85%. And Shillong is from South Korean University. So their topic was development of a yoga posture coaching system using a interactive display based on transfer learning. So in this paper, they have taken some images using a RGB camera, and then using the mobile DA model, which is a pre-trained model, they are examining which is giving the best result, and the accuracy is 98.43. So in our research paper, we are taking the data set from Kaggle, where there is 1,551 images, which have 5 different categories of yoga asanas. The asanas are downward dog pose, goddess pose, plank pose, tree pose, and warrior pose. And the images are of size 1280 by 720 pixels. But as it will take a long time to run and use them, and it will take a good amount of memory and resources, consume a good amount of memory and resources, we are compressing these images into 100 by 100 pixels using the PIL library in Python. So now, and also later for the augmented examining, we are using the image data generator library. We are generating more 1,000 images for the augmented data set. So to go into the more deeper in our network, let's first understand what is transfer learning. In simple words, transfer learning we can think like taking some other model's knowledge and learning and using it in our own model. So what happened in the big tech giants like Google, Microsoft, they have trained their own models on big data sets, like big data sets, like thousands and millions of data sets they have used, and the knowledge they have got, that is the weight and biases, they have saved it, and we can use that knowledge in our model. So that is how we are using the transfer learning. That means we are transferring the learning of one model to another. So in our case, we are the input layer. So for normalization, first what we are doing, we are normalizing our data set, that is the images, into a 0-1 metric. The image size is 100 by 100 by 3, and as this is a colored image, that's why there are 3 channels for RGB, and normalization is in 0 to 1. Next, each of the 5 images, the 5 types of categories are asanas categories has been classified. That is divided into training and testing. And using the training, we are using the training data set images. We have pre-trained our models so that it can extract the features and have the knowledge. So the pre-trained models were able to classify yoga pose based on the class level assigned to the training data set. Next, pre-trained model. So each pre-trained model is constructed using 2 parts. One is a convolution basis, and other is a classifier. The convolution foundation consists of convolution layer and a pooling layer. So what the convolution layer actually works, how it works, it extracts the required important features from the images, and pooling layer reduce the dimension so that the consumption of resources and the memory and time get rid of. We can rid of from that without losing important information. And classifier is the last part where we classify the images based on this network. So in the pre-trained model layer, the convolution base used the weight and biases from ImageNet dataset, and the classifier was removed. Okay, so in the ImageNet dataset is a big dataset of millions of images that has been used in the Google pre-trained model, so that Google and big tech giants actually train their model in high resources and taking much time in big strong devices, and then it saves the weights and biases of that training the model, and the weight and biases we are using for our research purpose. And later we also use some extra layers, added the extra layer so that we can extract more features from the images and classifier. And later we add the classifier which is able to detect the yoga pose images. So the additional layer that we have added, it contains 5 layers. One is the first layer is 256 nodes. The second is 120 nodes. The third is 64 nodes, and the fourth is 34, and the fifth is the 16 nodes. And at the end, we are patterning the layer so that it will be easier for us to convert it into a 1D array and pass it to the classifier level. Okay, so we have used the ReLU activation, where ReLU activation works like that. We take the maximum, and if it is not the maximum, if there is 0 or lesser, then we will take 0. And if it is greater than 0, then we will take the maximum one. Also, to not overfit our model, we are using a dropout layer, which means in the middle of the node, we are dropping out few layers so that it don't get overfitted. Also, we are using loss function, that is the cross entropy function. We have tested with other functions also. but the best one we got result is the cross entropy loss function. And the optimizer, we are using the Adam optimizer. And also we are using the early stopping feature so that we can avoid the overfitting. So this is a simple structure what we have done. So after using the pre-trained model, we are flattening our images, and then we are passing on our customized network. And later we are outputting it. And ReLU is the activation function, and there is 0.3%, that is 30% of nodes we are dropping out. So these are the results, how much time we took to train our model. So as we can see that ResNet 152v2 has taken the most of the time, and the mobile net took the least number of time. The red color shows that it has taken the most number of time for both the augmented and augmented data set, and mobile net is the least one. So now let's so as this is the result of accuracy between among all the models, and you see that VGG16 has a good accuracy for both the cases, augmented and unaugmented data set. So there are few these are the precision, recall, and F-score that actually helps us to understand how good our model is working to classify each of the images, and this to support. So we can see that the VGG16 is the
Please
highest
wind
for
up. Your
augmented.
time is over. Please wind up. Your time is over. Yeah.
Can you get only 2 minutes more? It's
Yeah.
almost-
Yeah. Please go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. 2 minutes.
Okay. So this is a confusion matrix for VGG16 and augmented, and this is the model accuracy. So in the conclusion, we can see that VGG16 is the best performing, and VGG16 is a model which is classification or used for classification and object detection. It is one of the popular model. And ResNet, we have used a various version of various model like ResNet V2. We have used few models like 152 V2 because they have different kind of architecture, and that's why for testing purpose we have used it. And we can see also that augmented and augmented data doesn't give a very much difference in the accuracy. But as we can, we know that if the image is symmetrical, then the augmented and augmented data they have some difference. But as the yoga poses are not symmetric, so sometimes when we are generating augmented data, they are not they are meaningless. That's why our accuracy is almost same in both the cases. And the future enhances that we can use these models in the various applications like which are for yoga companies or yoga detection in your gyms and various places. We can use this in online application. We can use this during COVID also for keeping ourselves healthy. We use this kind of yogas. So there are a lot of applications and software where this kind of models has been used. And this is the references from where we have taken all our details and everything. So yeah. Thank you. That was my presentation. If somebody has some questions, then they can ask.
Congratulations. Nice work.
Thank you.
So you have studied and implemented almost 10 different models.
Right.
Okay. So how much epoch you needed to get that accuracy? How many epochs?
Okay. So as you see that we have using the early stopping for not to overfit our model. So it differs for everyone, but the limit we kept like 500 epochs.
Okay.
And but sometimes it is completed in 30 or 100, like that.
Oh. And the data set is actual human being poses or just sketches of yoga poses?
So it is a data, it's not an actual human being. It is available in the Kaggle. We have attached the website also, and it's like a picture of the yoga poses. So it's the yoga poses, not a picture, not the actual human being.
Okay, that's what I want to get cleared. Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Yes. Next group, please.
Okay, so now the next is Maisha Lubana and Hussain Pranajyoti. Paper ID is 6119, early prediction of cancer using AI or ML techniques, a critical study.
Yes,
Is
sir.
this group there?
Yes,
You can start presenting. Make sure that time is limited so that you wind up in time. Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
Sir, can you see the slide?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes.
Good afternoon to everyone present here. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the ICETT and a warm welcome to all the panelists and the participants. Today, I, Aisha Lubana Hussain, along with my co-author Pranjiti Hazarika, are going to give a presentation on our paper titled Early Prediction of Cancer Using AI/ML Techniques. It is a critical study. As we all know, cancer is a disease that results when cellular changes causes the uncontrolled growth of cells and spread
Sorry,
to other
1 second.
parts.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So all the
Yes.
participants note that while presenting, they have to preferably keep the camera on. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead, please.
As we all know, cancer is a disease that results when cellular changes causes the uncontrolled growth of cells and spread to other parts of the body. According to the Globocam 2008, cancer mortality was expected to rise to an estimated 13.1 million deaths annually by 2030. The early detection of cancer will effectively reduce morbidity and mortality associated with the disease, and survival rates will increase significantly as the tumor can be surgically removed or can be treated with a milder drug regimen. In cancer research, AI and ML is used to create prediction models for efficient and precise decision making. In the review, we have addressed different ML algorithms used by various researchers, along with the difficulties they have encountered and suggestions for increasing the accuracy. They have analyzed the performance based on accuracy of the model. Next, we have the problem statement. The problem to be addressed is late cancer
Excuse me.
detection.
I thought the slides would got screen was got captured. Now I can see the slide.
Yes, ma'am. The problem to be addressed is late cancer detection. Late stage cancer detection often lacks an effective treatment option and stops a lot of scope of treatment as cancer has already spread to all over the body. But detecting cancer in its first stage can be difficult, and current screening methods often require invasive procedures or expensive imaging techniques to identify the initial signs of the disease. Here in this review, we have examined previously published research papers that suggested machine learning techniques to detect cancer at an early stage. The papers have analyzed their findings on numerous malignancies and have also determined their benefits and drawbacks. Further literature review will be explained by Pranjati.
For the literature review, we have successfully studied 11 research papers which have used cancer dataset to train and evaluate the models, with the help of machine learning technology to classify whether the tumor is cancerous or not cancerous. The commonly used machine learning algorithm we have found during our review are SVM, Deep Neural Network, ANN, Decision Tree, Random Forest, Gradient Boosting, Convolution Neural Network. For the next slide, we have presented the technique used by the author and the accuracy obtained by them. First, we have McLean, who used artificial neural network, and the accuracy he got is 99.5. AK used support vector machine, and the accuracy he got is 98.53. Botassi used artificial neural network, and the accuracy he got is 80%. Bhaka used deep neural
You can
network,
skip.
and he got 8.
You can
Yes,
skip.
ma'am. For the methodology, Masha will explain this.
We have reviewed 11 number of papers which have used machine learning techniques to detect and predict cancer. We have carefully gone through each paper and studied the machine learning approaches and the drawbacks that they have, and they have applied for prediction and diagnosis of cancer, and have learned the conclusion for each of the papers.
Most of the models developed by the researchers and are used supervised learning, classification algorithm, and deep learning is also used. Of the model score more than 75% and inaccuracy. One cons have found in that the dataset used by the researchers were very limited, and including more dataset can improve the model. Model currently lack Modern currently lack data when it comes to predicting cancer outcome, but developing even more accurate models as data set grow and improve in quality will likely increase. Next, we have our future advancement. For our future goal is to develop a model that can predict cancer at an early stage. With that, I would like to conclude our presentation. Here we have our references.
So maybe if anybody has got any questions, they can ask.
So you have presented a review, literature review.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
For which type of cancer or any type of cancer?
Many
We have
type of
started
cancer.
many type of cancer, sir.
Any type.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is your conclusion? So which technique is best for which type of cancer?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, we have started.
for breast.
Here you presented ANN is used by this author, but for which type of cancer?
McLean used some breast cancer, ma'am.
That also should be there in the column. No? One of the columns should be the type of cancer.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Are you going to implement any one of this technique? Have you thought of?
Yes, ma'am. We are going to make our own model after this.
And for which type of cancer?
Uh, we have not selected any specific type of cancer yet.
Okay. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Chaya ma'am, hello.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, have you joined from this ID, Divya Mishra? Is it your
Yeah.
ID?
No, I think some different ID. A second.
Because it is showing in
Instru. Instru
Instrude
something.
21 Divya Mishra. Yeah. So just confirming whether it is your ID.
I
All
just
right
joined
then.
session with this ID. No?
All right. Not an issue, ma'am. Okay, then we can go about the next presentation. K. Jayashree V. Gopi Swaminathan. Their paper ID is 1004 Web Service Integration E-Learning App Collaboration and Application.
Good afternoon. Are we audible?
Yeah, you are clearly audible, sir.
Yeah. So I'm Gopi Swaminathan, co-author, and Madam Jayashree is the author. Before we get into the presentation, we would like to thank SVKM for giving this opportunity. And today morning we were in the inaugural session about the emerging trends in digital technologies, where most of the keynote addresses revolve around this necessity of the web services, particularly in the area of artificial intelligence integration or with respect to the framework. So here, our presentation also highlights how this web service integration is going to be the part and parcel of the e-learning, which is the evolving concept. Okay, and in the results also we are highlighting where even the existing major portals are already started utilizing the web services. Now, I request Ma'am to start the presentation.
Good afternoon. The topic which I'm Jayashree. Am I audible?
Yes, clearly, ma'am. Go ahead.
The topic which we are going to talk about is web services integration with e-learning applications, collaboration and applications. So what is basically web services? It's a digital service which accepts a request from one data source and gets a response from other data sources. So the significant feature of the web services are it is programming language independent, platform independent, and local and it's location independent. Now, the main major thing that is the new data representation, which is XML, which is widely used in this web services. So there is a distinct paradigm shift from distributed computing to XML, which is a protocol-based open protocol-based environment. So basically, the major framework XML-based web service application which we are using is the .NET and the Java environment. So the main feature of the web service, which with respect to e-learning, is it is automated. It provides an automated mechanism that is auto-enabled and auto-configured. So the user will be, that is the usage it will provide a reliable mechanism for rendering the data, which is distributed worldwide, and the training materials which are distributed worldwide, we will be able to bring it into intermediary for analysis and evaluation. So with respect to the e-learning, what is required? It is an environment for anybody to anybody communication, coordination, and interaction. So you need to have a content management system which is playing a critical role in the e-learning environment, and then the focus is mainly on how to plug the different text, image, and multimedia environment which is available. So the role of web services in content management system is the interoperability. The protocols which we are going to use with respect to web services are the XML and the SOAP. That is the Simple Object Access Protocol, which is a lightweight protocol, and it works in coordination with the XML. So the feature about the web services used for web-based e-learning system is it is able to describe, publish, and locate and invoke all over the web. So the drawback with this is mainly the XML based attacks. Of late, we see a lot of cyber attacks. So this is the e-learning is not a thing for this also. So the examples of this instances of the cyber crime are a single sign-on system where which is a cloud-based email account, and the others are the DOS attack and the cyber attacks. And of course, the injection of viruses and malicious content into the system, the server, when it is being attached to a mail. If it is an executable file, these attached files will be downloaded into the server, and it will infect the entire system. And the other thing is when you are having that is different components, when it is going to be incorporated together like this, these systems collectively, that is your content management system, curriculum, and all these are will be interoperability. But if the denial of service attack is targeted, it will affect the e-learning system. So we can infer, that is what we infer from this is the web services draws attention to the developer to provide a necessary security feature to mitigate such risks. And so e-learning systems have to be developed in such a way that such security measures are taken into consideration to reduce the vulnerability. And now the case study with respect to what are the use cases of e-learning is, which is e-learning, which is also known as web-based training. It is an anytime, anywhere instruction delivered over the internet. So you are using virtual reality, augmented reality.
Hello.
And
soft reminder of, excuse me.
Yeah.
Soft reminder of your time getting over. So last
Yeah.
2 minutes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Artificial intelligence and all these features are and big data. All these are all a big boon to the e-learning concept. So coupled with the multiple sources provided, providing reliable services available over the network. And here we are. That is e-learning modules. So what are all that is required is the course evaluation, performance analysis. These are the major things that are required. So with respect to the environment currently, which is the platforms which are now currently used, is most widely used is the MOOC and the SWAYAM portal, and you're having the NP3, which is widely used among the systems. So this is the national program on technology enabled learning, which is conducted by IIT. And concludingly, we can say this e-learning which is synonymous to web learning. Here, the learner with multiple potentially unrelated functionality, they will be able to come to a common interface. And this portal, it is a single access point for the students, and they can have their materials, their attendance, everything under one single click. So it helps in avoiding spending umpteen number of time, huge time in searching for multiple locations for the different materials. And it's an aggregation of ease to remember if it is in a single platform, it is a single point access point, and it is easy to remember the single location. So the web services can easily configure, as well as can be remotely managed and designed, and the content can be provided in a comfortable way. So the web services, they use the industrial standard technology, and so when it is clubbed with e-learning, we can access these and form from any computer and ensure interoperability with the portal along with the comfortable portal users. So these are the references. I'll move over to the question answer session.
All right, then we can open the session for question answer.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Jayashree ma'am, very nice presentation.
Thank you.
I just have a query. Are you
Yeah.
developing a e-learning platform or a web service?
That is how web service can be used for e-learning. That is what we are mainly talking
Because-
about.
Okay. Because
Ma'am?
there are many e-learning platforms like Moodle is there, Google Classroom is there. Yes,
Ma'am,
sir.
can I supplement to
Yes,
others?
sir.
Actually, web services is working in the background for
Yeah.
all the integration purpose. Suppose it is basically enabling the plug and play feature of various stakeholders databases so
Yes,
that
sir.
the portal concept is being established there.
So we require a single portal where everything can be accessed. And this can be comfortably done and easily done using the web services. That is the main idea behind which we are.
And SOAP is the great choice instead of going for React.js or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, can I ask a question? Hello.
Yeah.
Please.
Sir, are you from some college? You're teaching in some college or?
Yeah.
I am a professor in computer science.
Okay.
And
All right. Great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yeah,
all
thank
for all
you.
the coordinators and the anchor. Thank you so
So
much.
maybe now we can call upon next presenter Ayushi Dedia.
Yes, sir.
Ayushi Dedia,
Yes, sir.
you can present now quickly.
So, 1 minute.
There is some background noise from your end. Ayushi. Yeah, your screen is visible now. You can go ahead.
Yes.
You can go ahead.
A very good afternoon to all present over here. Myself Ayushi, and I'll be presenting on a study on the market basket analysis in data mining. So in the last few decades, there have been an explosive growth in the data, but as we know, not all the data is relevant. So the companies started to use the data to discover and extract some of the relevant information. So this process of extracting the useful information by analyzing huge volumes of data is known as data mining. Market basket analysis. So we can say that one major application domain of data mining is the analysis of transactional data. So this technique is majorly used by the retailers to understand the consumer's behavior by identifying the relationships between the items that people usually buy. Problem of statement. So nowadays, the major problem many retailers face is the placement of their items in their store. They are basically unaware of the purchasing habits of the customers, so they don't know which items should be placed together in their store. Therefore, MBA can provide a solution to this problem. Literature review. So this section provides an overview of the MBA research with the current state in the retail industry by using the different data mining algorithms. The first paper aimed to analyze the basket data along with the demographics for a supermarket dataset using the association rule mining, and the findings showed that the frequent item patterns were discovered. The next paper analyzed a hypermarket transaction data using the SP growth algorithm and association rule. The algorithm concluded that the hypermarket can divide one operational month into 3 different periods so that they can arrange the goods accordingly. In this next paper, the data used for analysis was a bakery dataset where a periodic mining algorithm was proposed, and it worked along with the association rule, not only on the static data but also the dynamic data. Here the authors proposed a model for finding repeated item sets to analyze whether the products were sold more in the morning session or in the evening session using the a priori algorithm on UCI machinery repository dataset. In the next paper, the application of MBA was implemented in a private supermarket by using the association rule and the a priori algorithm. The results showed that the development and implementation of this MBA application with the help of these algorithms could work very well on the transaction data of the supermarket. And here the last paper, it made a comparison between the different algorithms based on the execution time on a sample supermarket dataset. And it was found that the FP growth algorithm produced better results, and also it took less time, followed by the a priori algorithm. The first paper, this paper used association rule and FP growth algorithm on a supermarket dataset, and the results of this study were used as recommendations for product layout and product bundling, and later they were implemented to enhance the customer loyalty. The next paper, the aim of it was to present a new scheme to discover the association rule using the various algorithms on a supermarket dataset, and even they tracked the customers' buying patterns, and it was found that the scheme which they proposed was much more efficient. The last paper aimed to find out products that were often purchased simultaneously from a restaurant transaction, and the application produced item association rules or menu combinations in the consumer's purchasing patterns, which helped for them in increasing their restaurant sales. Methodology. So this section provides a brief description of the algorithms which we discussed above. The first is the association rule. So MBA mainly works with the association rule, that is the if and then rule. If means the antecedent. Basically, an antecedent is an item found within the dataset, and then means consequent. A consequent is an item found in combination with the antecedent. The second algorithm is the a priori algorithm. It is used for frequent item set mining. It analyzes that people who bought product A would also buy product B. And there are three components associated with this algorithm. The first is support. It denotes the average popularity of any product or data item. The second is confidence. It refers to the likelihood that the customer purchases both the item A and item B. And the third is lift. Lift provides information on whether an association exists or not, and if the association is positive or negative. The next is the FP growth algorithm. It stands for frequent pattern growth. It basically works in two steps. So first, the database is scanned and one item set is found, and the items are arranged in an order of decreasing support. Later, the database is rescanned and the FP tree is created. And in the second step, the most common item sets using the FP tree is searched. The last is the Tertius algorithm. It finds the rule according to the confirmation measures while using the first order logic representation, and it includes various options like class index, classification, confirmation, threshold, etc. Here is a comparison between the two most likely used algorithms, that is the a priori and FP growth. So looking at the parameters, the a priori follows the join and prune technique until the most frequent item set is achieved, whereas the FP growth generates an FP tree for making the frequent patterns. And since a priori scans the database in each of its steps, it becomes very time consuming for it, whereas the FP growth scans the database only twice, so it requires lesser time. So looking at the parameters, we can say that FP growth is a modern version of a priori, and it is faster and more efficient while obtaining the same goal. Conclusion. So the study presents an overview of the recent work and also provides an insight of how the different algorithms can be applied to the given data sets, which can help the retailers to increase their sales by understanding that which products have been purchased the most by the customers, and how MBA serves a very powerful tool for analyzing the consumer's behavior. Future enhancement, since there is an increased competition between the retail stores and the number of products choices that are available to the customers. This has created a pressure on the decision makers to manage their customers in the long-term relationship. So MBA could serve as an important tool to identify what customers actually expect from the companies and also predict their future demands.
Please wind
And
up.
yes,
Please wind up.
and not only in retail industry, but these algorithms can also be used for other domains as well. And here are the rest.
Okay, so if anybody is having any questions, they can ask. Ma'am, you can also ask if you want any questions to her.
Very good, Ayushi.
Thank you, ma'am.
You have implemented a priori algorithm?
I've not implemented it. It is a literature review.
Means, are you planning to implement it?
Yeah, I am planning to implement it on a data set.
Okay. And data set, you have data set, right?
Like it is available on Kaggle.
Okay. Good one.
Thank you, ma'am.
So
Hello.
now hello.
Well, you mentioned in one of your slides
Okay, you're asking question.
differential market analysis. What is that? Ayushi?
So there are various techniques in the one second. So there are various types of the market basket analysis. So basically it has three types: the descriptive one, the predictive one, and differential analysis. So differential is like if you want to compare the purchase history between stores or between two seasons or between two time periods, then that type can be used.
They are spatial temporal attributes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, then we can move on to the next presentation. And people, please note that once the bell ring, that's the final kind of reminder to you that you have to wind up your presentation. Siddharth Mohan, Big Data for Insurance Industry, a review of technologies.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, quickly please present. And once the bell ring, you do then quickly wind up your presentation.
So please confirm if you can see my screen in
Yes,
the
yes.
presentation.
Yeah, it is visible.
So
Go
good
ahead.
afternoon. My name is Siddharth Mohan, and my title for the research presentation is Big Data for Insurance Industry, a review of technologies. So the insurance industry has become one of the biggest data producing industries in the world. And insurance industry links data from various industries based on the type of insurance. So we have insurance like automobile insurance, we have health, general, life, home, travel, etc. And when there is data produced from so many sources, it needs to be managed and analyzed by the companies to support their decision making and provide customers with a better product experience that fulfill their needs. Therefore, uniting big data with the insurance industry is very important, and there are multiple applications of big data in insurance industry that are discussed ahead in this paper. So let me address the problem statements that are formed in this research literature review. So the primary problems with this concept is that data management and data authenticity because of the amount of data that is produced. The next is data generated by customers is different from the data generated by the agents, which is done simply for the sake of selling a product. So data that is generated by a customer is a little bit more authentic. And it is challenging to use ML models on unevenly distributed data like logistic regression and SVM models, and designing and recommending better products for the customers, and cybersecurity insurance, which I will discuss ahead in this presentation. So for the literature review, these are the primary points that are covered in this paper. So managing the governance and sales between insurance companies and agencies. Then there's another paper which talks about creating a transparency between the company and the customer for authentic information and better products and claim settlements. Then we are like creating different algorithms for recommendation systems. We have decision making support for companies and insights in the e-health sector as well. So the first paper talks about a three-level methodology, which proposed in three sections, which is namely utilization, response, and governance. So in this, there are three domains created, like The first one comprises of the companies. The second one is for the agencies or the franchisees which sell the products from these companies. And the third one is the customers. So there's a software here used called Agensec, and which visualizes and analyzes the data based on these three methodologies. So in utilization, we have the locations on which these agencies will work on, and the response comprises of the data that is sent from these agencies to the insurance companies, like monthly premium sales and customer acquisitions, etc. And governance is like a correlation between the market share of these agencies and these companies. So this is created to avoid the conflicts between the agencies and the insurance companies. The next paper talks about an AI system which is used to verify and upload the documents from the user to streamline the claims process. So this basically removes an intermediary from the claims system between the insurance company and the customer. So the customers can themselves upload their documents for claims by using an AI powered camera, which will verify the documents. And if they have any queries, there is a chatbot created with intelligent answers. And even if that fails to answer any queries, then we have a customer service executive to answer the queries. And this is based on four sections, which are data acquisition, data storage, data analysis, and data application. The next paper talks about a PNC model, which is property and casualty management model. So this uses an ontology called an OWL, so ontology web language. So this is basically a semantic analysis produced over the big data architecture, which is used to provide fraud detection and insurance plans that are specifically produced for a customer. And the next paper talks about it uses a Spark's parallel computing ability and memory cache mechanism that are used to introduce ensemble random forest algorithm. So this, the primary reason for creating this algorithm is because logistic regression and SVM techniques were not able to work very efficiently on unevenly distributed data. So this algorithm has proved to be better with a 14% reduced error rate. And the more tree this algorithm has, the better it will perform. So next, primarily when the banks give out loans, so they check the credit history and current reputation of a firm, but that has a disadvantage that it lacks forward lookingness of the data. So banks can create a relationship map between firms using big data, which is useful for affiliating analysis and risk management. And it uses a business oriented big data platform that will use a GIS technology to range of a data support service. The next paper talks about to address the difficulties of CI implementation. So implementation is basically cybersecurity in insurance. So there is a methodology called cost-aware hierarchical cyber incident analytics. So it integrates commercial and technical approaches using a number of strategies, and it has four layers: incident identification layer, cyber incident prevention layer, financial restriction response layer, and recovery management layer. And this way invoke or tell the executives about any security issues that have been arising based on different perspectives, like client perspective, internal or financial perspective. The next is a recommendation algorithm. So this is a hybrid recommendation algorithm which uses LDA and ALS. So it uses Spark for real-time analysis, and it also analyzes of in offline mode as well for creating memory-based structures. The next is insurance companies use big data framework on InfoSpan. So data is produced by the patients on every visit to their hospitals or wherever they are. So it takes this data and uses big data architecture like MapReduce. It derives the outputs, and then the output is verified with the customer. And an archive of this data is maintained by the insurance company, and the patient is shown the MapReduce techniques outputs. Okay, so whenever uh, the company has to create a new product, so they can use the previous data which is done by InfoSpan, and they can create better products for the customers and for better profitability. So results and discussion. So new technologies and methodologies have been developed to support big data intervention in the insurance industry. And most of the techniques are yet to be tested in the real world. They have just used the data set. And data management in the insurance industry is still very uneven, and it needs to be organized more. For conclusion, the integration of big data technologies is emerging in the insurance and financial industries, and combining big data with the insurance led us to solving managerial problems in companies by developing architectures that take categorized input and provide valuable analysis that helps in making better decisions.
Please wind up.
Sure. So for in future, big data has a very vast role in shaping such data-driven industries, as most of the methods used in these industries have now become precursory, and now these ideas are really emerging. So these are the references, and you can ask any questions if you have.
So this session is open for question and answer. If anybody wants to ask any question, they can go ahead.
Siddharth, what is the size of the data you are considering?
So for one of the product algorithms for the AgInsec, they have used a data set from a Chinese insurance company. So that was a pretty large scale data set. And for others, they have used data sets from Kaggle or whatever resources they were available for that. So this is a literature review. I haven't used any algorithm by myself.
Okay, thank
He
you.
is asking what is the size of their data set? How many records are there? Have you studied that?
I don't remember the exact number, but it was around I think 1.5 lakh, I think, maybe. I'm
Okay.
not sure what.
You talked about one tool,
Yes, ma'am.
AgentSeg.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Agents.
there are many tools like Weka. So can you compare these tools? Which tool is better for analysis, big data analysis?
Um, I don't think I can compare the tools. I don't have that much information about the other tools with me right now.
Okay.
And these are just precursory. They are not deployed in the market yet. So I don't think we can compare them yet.
Okay, good work.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, now we are going for the next presentation by Jinali Gosar. Paper ID is 1009. Are you there, Jinali Gosar?
Yes, sir.
So please present your screen and you can go ahead then quickly.
My screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible. Your screen is visible. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm here to present a lecture.
Please be louder. Excuse me. Please be louder. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, now clearly. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm here to present a literature review on topic big data in IDS as an intrusion detection system. IDS basically refers to the monitoring system that detects the suspicious activities and generates alert when they have been detected. We all know that the increasing volume and the complexity of the network data has been more difficult and to respond to the security threats. Here where the big data analytics comes in. Big data in IDS can be referred to as using of the large complex data sets which are being generated from the various sources and which are being analyzed using the advanced techniques. On the basis of the unusual behavior of the IDS, it can be categorized into two categories, that is the host-based IDS and network-based IDS. The host-based IDS inspects the data that originates from the host system and audit sources, whereas the network-based IDS detects the malicious traffic on a network. Moving on to the next slide, the major problem that the IDS faces is of the false positives and the false negative. The false positive is one which incorrectly classifies the normal data as an attack data, whereas the false negative, where the system fails to detect an actual security threat. And some of the ideas still rely on the existing patterns and it is ineffective against the new and the unknown security threats. Moving on to the next slide, the literature review, it presents the various papers which are being reviewed. The first author focuses on the
real-time data using the Lambda architecture and has used the log data which is received through the Flume and Kafka. Basically, using of the Lambda architecture results in satisfying the fault tolerance against the hardware failures and the human mistakes. The second author has used long-term short memory mechanism on and has proposed an attention mechanism which results in proposed attack detection strategy achieving a high performance and reducing the false negative rate. The third author has used the Spark chi-square SVM model on an Apache Spark big data platform, which reduces the training time and is efficient in order for the multi-class model. The fourth author has used anomaly detector NIDS and has used auto encoders for the traffic patterns, and in order to maintain the efficiency hash tables has been used by the author. Moving on to next, uh, moving on to the next, the author has used the map or the log data and has implicated malware attacks on the model on its data sets, and it has resulted in helps in distinguishing between the benign activities and APT campaigns which are being injected into the data set. The next author has used K2 algorithm, which is basically used for the graphical data analysis, and has used the cloud computing application, that is the Microsoft Azure, which helps in better performance in false positive rate and is scalable due to the performance of the Microsoft Azure. The next author has used machine learning algorithm, which includes random forest, then PCA, for the comparing the accuracy and prediction latency. The findings for the depth analysis of the network parameters were being performed, and it lessens the prediction latency by reducing the model's complexity due to the lesser number of model inputs. And the last author has used a CNN algorithm, which is basically used for the image to deal with the image data, which performs an excellent performance for the dealing with the image data, and it has used a framework which is based on NTMEA. Moving on to the methodology, it can be classified. Ideas can be classified in in two ways on the basis to identify the intuition, that is the signature based ideas and anomaly based ideas. Signature based is the one which detects the attacks based on the known patterns or the past patterns, whereas the anomaly based and measures the present state of the traffic on the network and against this baseline in order to detect the patterns. Um, it is important in order to classify the attacks. It is important to use the tools of the IDS. Some of them are SolarWind Event Manager, then Snort, which are being open source tools which are widely used for the network based IDS, whereas the OSEC HIDS, then Suricata, these are the tools which are being used for the host-based IDS, which have the ability to detect and which has the ability to detect an alteration to the registry on the Windows or log files which are being covered, which includes mail, web server data, etc. It is essential to access the proposed method's ability to detect behavior of the intrusions using the valid data sets. Some of the data sets which are being used by the authors are the KDD Cub 99 set, then the NSL KDD set, which is the more accurate version of the KDD set by removing the duplicate records. Then the Mavilab is the one which uses the packet traces for the network-based IDS. Then CNIDS is the latest data set which is being used and most up-to-date, resembling the real-world data. The machine learning algorithms which are applied in IDS in order to increase the detection rate and to lower the false alarm rate at the chi-square. Okay, sir. Chi-square selector, which is being used for classifying the data, then at ENN, which is being used for NIDS types of data, then CN algorithm, which is being used for the image data. It can be seen that no single machine learning algorithm is efficient for handling the attacks. The PCA's algorithm is said to be best for the dimensionality reduction, and on for the real-time data intensive system is capable for processing a huge data sets in a fast and efficient manner. It can be concluded that the IDS is an important part for a corporate world and for network users in day-to-day security, and it can be also seen that an assemble approach can make us achieve a better performance in accuracy and in predicting the classes of the attack. In future, it can be concluded that the greater use of the honeypots can be used then on rather on relying on the signature. It is not relevant to rely on the signature based idea, since it is not able to predict the new or unknown threats. And it can be clearly seen that the artificial intelligence and the machine learning is the future of cybersecurity. These are some of the references which are being used for the study.
Yeah, nice presentation. So if anybody is having any questions, please ask.
Very systematic case study presented.
Thank you, ma'am.
So what is your conclusion at the end?
Ma'am, it can be concluded that various machine learning algorithms still need to be developed in a more better way, which can lead to a better accuracy rate in the which can provide a better accuracy rate, and can help in classifying the attacks properly.
Okay. Best wishes.
Thank you, ma'am.
So now I guess there are no more questions, so we are good to go ahead. And Khan Noman, review of various cryptographic. All right, then we have to go for next presenter, Akshat Bhatia. Hello, Akshat, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yeah, then you can
Am
present.
Am I clearly audible, sir?
Yeah, very
Actually, I have
clearly
some
audible you are.
mic problem. Okay, I'll just present my screen, sir. Just a minute.
You can share your screen now. You are clearly audible.
Yes, sir. Just a minute.
But keep in mind that time given is 5 to 7 minutes, and after
Sure,
that
sir.
one bell will ring, and then you have to wind up.
Okay, sir. Yeah. So, good morning, all. My name is Akshat Bhatia, and I am going to present my paper, which is on the topic use of predictive analysis in financial market and its implementation using algorithmic trading. So, before starting off my paper, I just want to tell you about the thin line that demarcates between a gamble and a factual investment, which is that the strategies and the tools that we use for identifying a particular pattern in the financial data set and to predict the value, the future price movements of that particular investment, which is not there in gambling. Gambling is purely based on probability and as well as your luck. So there are different tools and terminology that we have used in this paper. So some of them are like machine learning, which consists of supervised and supervised reinforcement learning, predictive analysis. We have also looked upon various financial tools such as which can be categorized as technical and analytical tools and fundamental analytical tools, that are moving averages, on the balance volume indicators, accumulation distribution line, average directional index, and error. Over here, moving average is kind of important to understand. So it is basically the accumulation of all the prices, and they are divided with the number of periods that we are taking into consideration. So there are three types of moving average. One is simple, second is weighted, and the third one is exponential. So in weighted, we basically give weights to the particular period, and in exponential, it is kind of a weighted moving average, but the prices which are closer to the which are the closest are given more weights basically. In fundamental analysis, there are like earning per share, price per equity, return on equity, and price to book ratio are used. So what is the actual problem that we are facing and we are trying to cater to through this research paper? We are trying to guide the investor in terms of which algorithm they can use and which algorithm will be the best suited in terms of the interest of the investor. So the basic interest for an investor is to earn profit, and that is connected to the time period that they are willing to stay invested. So that is the problem statement that we have for this research paper. So there are different algorithms that we have used, such as k-mean cluster. K-mean cluster, we divide the data into k clusters, and then that cluster represents underlying assets, and then cluster with the key feature with the highest rating and the best that best relates to the likelihood of the stock price is selected in order to identify the best performing stock. Then there is logistic regression. Logistic regression is, as we all know, is a supervised machine learning algorithm, and its output is basically the probability in which is in favor of like probability of the favorable class. And here the favorable class is basically a selection of the best stock or the best stock that we have in the data set. Support vector machine, which maps the input data into high dimensional feature. And here there is a margin that helps us to categorize the new input data correctly. Principal component analysis, this is basically used to find out the relevant feature and to filter out the redundant feature. Here we have used around 24 technical variables, and their eigenvalue and variances are filtered out on the basis of, like, the variance should be greater than 70% and their eigenvalue should be greater than 1. And then the reliability is checked through Cronbach alpha coefficient, and that should be greater than 0.7%. 0.7, sorry. So next is random forest. Random forest, as we all know, it is it is a multitude of a decorrelated decision tree, and its output is in the form of binary, So, and k nearest neighbor, again, it is used to categorize the new data input data, and it is basically done through two things. Like, it's class able defined through two things. Like, we can allocate the class label on the basis of uniform weights, which is given to the different categories, or the weight in terms of the distance that it has between the two categories. Then we move on to assemble learning. It is similar to the decision tree, and each individual tree has its own machine learning algorithm applied to it, and its results are calculated. Adaptive boosting. Adaptive boosting is the main aim of adaptive boosting is to convert the weak learning algorithm into an algorithm which is arbitrarily high in accuracy. And in each boosting round, misclassified data are given more weight so that it can be again classified. Lasso ridge. Here, ridge is basically used to determine the best fit line and to overcome fitting, and it helps in reducing the cost function. Lasso, on the other hand, it reduces the cost function but also helps us in selecting the most important parameter in the data set. Then, talking about the data set that we have seen in the different literature review papers that I've come across. So there were 5 data sets that were there. First was stock prices for the Australian stock market. Second was historical prices from the Ghana stock market. Third was the news headline, forum discussion, and tweets. Fourth was the Google trends. And the fifth was the historical prices of precision metals listed in the commodity market of the US. So over here, for the first and the second data set, we have used directly the machine learning algorithms that we will and the result will be discussed in the further presentation. For the fifth data set in particular, we have found out that the SMA, WMA, and EMA, that is simple moving average and all, were the best in terms of knowing the future prices and determining predicting their prices in the future. So amongst that also, SMA was the most successful one. And for the third and fourth, we had to do some pre-processing before before using it as an input for other machine learning algorithms. So what was the pre-processing that was done? So that was basically duplicate data was removed through cosine function, then slicing was done, then polarity and subjectivity was basically checked, and then their returns were calculated through this formula, that is closing price I plus D upon closing price I. I is the given date and D is the target date. And then data price retrieval, trend retrieval was also done, and for that multi-layer perceptron was used multi-layer perceptron, and ANN algorithm was used. And the combination of accuracy metrics that were root, square, mean, error, sensitivity, accuracy, mean, absolute percentage was used in order to know the performance of the particular model. So what did we come across through this literature review? So for the short duration in particular, we have taken into consideration ridge regression, lasso regression, SVM, k nearest neighbor, random forest, and adaptive boosting. So over here we can see in both the cases, which is 1 day ahead returns and the 5-day ahead returns, the precision that SVM got was the highest, which is around 50.04. Yes, sir. 50.044 in day 1 ahead and 51% in day 5. Talking about the long duration, so in long duration, PCA was gave us the highest return. So over here we have talked about the returns, the absolute return that we got after 1 month. So over here, PCA was able to give us a return of 23% over 1 month. So this got hanged. Can you see my screen? Like are the slides changing?
No, it's not changing. It's not slide number
Actually,
17.
It is 17 only. I have to, ma'am, sorry for the inconvenience. I again have to share my screen because it just got stuck. Just a minute, ma'am. Yeah. So these algorithms were basically used, and these were implemented through algorithmic and high frequency trading, whose advantages are like it reduces bid-ask price, it improves the efficiency of the price discovery. Disadvantages over here is basically the increase in volatility and volumes, and non-ethical practices that hampers the normal functioning of the markets. So the two major problems that we have addressed over here is the stock selection, error for long-term portfolio, and the stock price prediction in the short-term thing. So over here for the long-term horizon investors, PCA was the best fit, as we all saw. And for the short-term investment horizon, SVM was the best suited. So major drawback over here, ma'am, that I want to mention was it wasn't my, like it was a literature review, so it wasn't my self-collected data. So what I want to improve in the future iteration of this research is to have a self-collected data set which includes which has Indian stock market and like in the background. So these were like for the Ghana and for US markets and Australian market. So that is what I want to implement in the future iteration of this paper. So these are my references. There are around 6 papers, and now I'm open for any questions that you have.
That's good. You have come up with few questions at the end of literature review.
Yes, ma'am.
And how you plan to do that?
Ma'am, this for the future enhancement you're talking about?
Yeah.
Ma'am, self-collected data, like I can take a data set from the BSc or the NSC, and I can try implementing these algorithms and the pre-processing that I am talking about on that, like on the data that I get from the BSc and NSC.
Okay.
So, yes, ma'am. So that is my vision, and I hope I am successful in that.
All the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Prashant sir, next group, please.
Yeah. So we can go for the next presentation by Mahesh Kulkarni. Are you there, Mahesh? The topic is the safekeeping complications and requirement in mobile ad hoc network. Mahesh Kulkarni, sir, you're there? I don't think he's there, so we'll have to go for the next person, that is Miss Mehak Sheikh, Miss Mrunali Shirke, and Elizabeth Leh George. Are you there? These people are even not there, I guess. Navina Bane, Renuka Patle, and Dr. Jyotsna Dongar Dive. Are you there? These three people? But the name is here. Anyways, so Rashmi Pote.
Yes,
Rashmi
sir, I'm
Pote.
there. I'm there.
Yes, so ma'am, you can take over and do your presentation.
Okay, okay. Just a minute. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Hello?
Hello, is my screen
Yeah,
visible?
yeah, clearly. You can
Okay.
present. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So my name is Rashmi Pote and I'll be presenting a paper titled Smart Contract Based Cash Withdrawal from ATM. Okay. These are the topics which we are going to go through in my presentation. Let us first quickly understand what is a problem statement. So actually, now in today's era, we all are doing a lot of cash less transaction, online transaction, and so many other things. But then we cannot deny that cash withdrawal is really an important activity for all of us. So let us understand what are the stakeholders which are there in the cash withdrawal process. So customer, payment gateway, and bank are the three stakeholders in this process. When a customer want to do a cash withdrawal, he or she has to have an ATM card or a debit card or a credit card. These cards are generally being issued by bank, and bank issues these cards which are a payment gateway card. So all these transactions which is done by a customer are generally routed through these payment gateway networks. So basically, the challenges when we are using these payment gateway cards are a customer when inserts an ATM card in the ATM machine, the ATM understand that this card belongs to which payment gateway. So all the credential of the customer with the PIN number, everything goes to the payment gateway network. Now these payment gateways are sometimes international payment gateway or national payment gateway. So when all the customer credential go via these international payment gateways, there is a huge risk of data burglary. Sometimes what happens is these hackers or malicious actors could actually gain access to the user's information and withdraw cash without the knowledge of the user. And payment gateway many a times imposes some limit like cash withdrawal limit or transaction limit, daily transaction limit, and so on. So that is how the payment gateway plays a major role in current ATM withdrawal scenario. Okay. The literature review which we have gone through till now are 35 papers are being reviewed, and all of them are actually comparing how the centralized system and decentralized system basically works. So the decentralized ledger which we are talking nowadays today have already recreated the internet architecture in very new perception methods and with new tools. So all of these are actually created a huge impact onto multiple businesses like computer science, economics, law, commerce, tourism, lending system, healthcare system, finance, government voting system, 5G application prototype for smart grid system, 5G network slicer broker system, and there are many more businesses which are being affected by these blockchain technology. I should say they are being positively taken these technology in the background, and they are working towards more secure feature to be provided to the customer. Ethereum based blockchain, we are already aware, and it is a new buzzword in the market which has been creating multiple type of smart contract which helps sometimes a payment a patient based central health system also. It have already solved a problem of supply chain metrics within the system. These decentralized applications are using generally the open platform available called as Ethereum blockchain, and these are the ones who are actually using multiple internal blocks to create a consensus protocol, work on it, and create a smart contract onto the blockchain, and then we work onto it. So multiple researchers have worked in this area, where researchers have analyzed strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threat, that is SWOT analysis, between centralized as well as decentralized ledger. And many of them are suggesting that nowadays, because of the challenges which we have in the centralized system, the decentralized ledger, digital ledger, works much more better in a secure manner. The paper number 34 is my own paper, where we have created a smart mobile banking application for cash withdrawal from ATM without using of a ATM card. So this paper is an extension to this paper number 34. The next and last paper actually talks about how AES and RES algorithms can be implemented onto network to send the data securely over these blockchain based network. So let us understand what we are suggesting initially in the cash withdrawal process. In step number 1, the customer install a smart mobile banking application on the smartphone. The customer then initiate the cash withdrawal via the SMBA, answer the security question, reaches the nearby ATM, scan the QR code available in the SMBA, and then collect the cash. This is what is done without an ATM card, and it is done with the help of smart mobile banking application. This is what is visible to the user or a customer. What happens internally, that is what we are suggesting here. In next step, a consensus protocol is being created, or we are working in background to create a proof of stake protocol for consensus and create a smart contract based on all the customer credential for that specific ATM transaction. In step number 4, we want to securely communicate all these data over the network using AES algorithm, so that a smart contract which has been already built can be placed onto a blockchain correctly. Okay. Now the advantages of using this proposed system is there is an exhaustive authentication of customer has already been done, because we are asking security question via the smart mobile banking application. The customer visit the nearby ATM, scan the generated QR code which is there in the SMBA, and get the cash from the ATM. Now, use of smart contract is suggested just to remove the centralized payment gateway, which is a middleman today. So as a result, the proposed system is much more secure from the data breach, which was a problem in the initial system of using the payment gateway network. Now the AES algorithm can be used to be implemented for communicating the data securely over the network. Now the result which we see over here in the proposed system is, the proposed system is a unique blend of cardless cash withdrawal as well as a touchless cash withdrawal, and without the presence of a centralized third party. So smart contract and blockchain will definitely make this whole cash withdrawal process more secure from the data breach, which was a problem initially in the problem statement. And proposed system is a really high level overview. There may be many technical and non-technical challenges involved in the implementing smart contract power ATM. The conclusion is these cash withdrawal is a very important activity for all of us today, also in this cashless era. But the use of decentralized ledger will definitely remove the payment gateway network, and it will help to decrease the risk of data burglary, which we had in the initial state. The use of smart contract during the cash withdrawal will safeguard the customer credential. That is the basic idea over here. In the future, we see that all the financial transaction or banking transaction will utilize smart contract to the fullest, to that using that security feature of smart contract, and it can be implemented on distributed ledger, and they are a digital alternative to a physical contract which is available today. So it helps in banking industry to securely conduct all the banking transaction. So we have reviewed 35 papers, and these are a few of them. Okay, thank you for your kind attention and waiting for your valuable suggestions.
So if there is any questions, you can ask her. Anybody?
Very nice presentation, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
You mentioned about advantages of your proposed algorithm.
Yes.
I want to ask you, are there any disadvantages or limitations of your algorithm?
The basic limitation of smart contract is, once it is created, we cannot redo anything. It is not changeable. So we want that everything, when we create one smart contract, everything is in place, and the proof of stake algorithm which we are saying, it should work well as per the requirement of cash withdrawal. That is the only thing. Otherwise, you cannot rewrite anything onto smart contract.
Okay, and it is feasible.
It is feasible. Yes, yes, it is very well feasible. We can work with the help of Ethereum blockchain, and the implementation can be done in Solidity, and it can be then incorporated with ATM hardware.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All the
Thanks a
best.
lot. Thank you, ma'am.
So now can we go ahead for next presentation, ma'am? Now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So next is Sadia Patrawala. Her paper is on study of smart city and big data. So you can take over and present.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good evening, everyone. My name is Sadhya Patrawala, and today I'm going to present my paper, a study on smart city and big data. Okay, so a smart city is an urban area that uses different types of electronic data collection sensors to supply information which is used to manage assets and resources efficiently. A smart city is composed of several well-defined smart components, including smart transportation, smart buildings, smart healthcare, and more. IoT and big data technologies are seen as key drivers behind the emergence of sustainable smart cities. Okay, so big data is a combination of structured, unstructured, and semi-structured huge volumes of data, the main sources of which are stock exchanges, social networking sites, and weather stations, and more, which require technologies and architectures to manage it, possibly to extract value from it by capturing, storing, classifying, and analyzing the historical and real-time data to identify the patterns, to detect the hidden relations and other useful information which can be used to make better decisions. Big data offers the possibility for the city to gain insightful knowledge from substantial amount of data gathered from different sources. For example, in order to tackle crime, cities may employ predictive big data analytics by comparing the historical data and the real-time data. They can identify the areas which are likely to be more inflicted with crime. Okay, so problem statement. Smart cities use one of the major problems of smart cities is um, the complicated and costly infrastructure involved in installation and maintenance of sensors. Sensor technology is utilized by smart cities to gather data and analyze information in order to improve the quality life of the residents. Security is also one of the major concerns of smart cities. As the use in IoT and big data technologies is expanding, consequently is the threat to the level of security. Furthermore, another problem is there is a growing elderly population that doesn't use smartphones and applications frequently. It is crucial for the planning of smart cities to take into account the need of all population subgroups. Literature review. So in the first paper, this paper is a presentation of the general overview of the perspective and issues of big data and open data in a smart city with specific implications for the municipality of Trento, Italy. This paper provided guidelines that would allow the current practices to evolve from the traditional approaches to smarter ones to improve the quality of life of the citizens. The next paper presents findings from an analysis of several use cases of big data in cities throughout the world and 4 projects with government organizations towards developing the smart cities. Integration and modification of the knowledge of many experts for the context of using big data for smart cities was one of the hurdles faced in each of the projects proposed by the authors. The research was distinctive since it's analyzed um, the big data use cases for smart cities using an empirical approach to attain the findings. The next paper, this study demonstrates that these citizens have remarkable development of the applied data-driven technologies, but the development of the vary in the level of implementation and technologies in different city systems and domains in terms of sustainability. In the next paper, this article presents a comprehensive view of the functionality of big data and smart cities. In light of this, revolutionary technologies employed by smart city companies and smart cities are discussed. So the methodology, this is the Gameness management system. It is a smart city management system that is with 3D representation. In this model, the city GML standard was extended to include indoor GML standard and IoT standard. Traditional systems only receive data which are structured according to the predefined concept, such as city GML. Gameness, on the other hand, receives data from sources without variability problems. It uses algorithms to reach structures. It uses algorithms to reach structures and map data by using user-defined data types. In traditional systems, the speed of the transaction directly affects the performance of the system, but in Gameness management system, it speeds up the performance of the overall system. Next is the big data analytic embedded framework. This framework is a three-tier architecture. It consists of the data aggregation layer, data management layer, and the service management layer. The bottom line of the architecture creates the data and shares the information among the others that are connected within the network. Aggregated data are transferred to the middle layer to determine the valuable data from the gathered raw data with the aid of data filtration and data analysis techniques. Then intelligent decision agents classify the valuable data and derive intelligent decisions. The service management tier is responsible for formulating and generating smart city service events with respect to derived intelligent decisions. The next methodology is the Smart City Panels CADAP framework. It is a three-layer architecture made up of the platform layer, the security layer, and the data processing layer. The platform layer consists of hardware clusters, operating systems, and communication protocols. Additional computing nodes can be added as and when needed. In the security layer, there is the Sentry, which is a system for enforcing role-based authorization to data. Further is the data processing is a core data processing engine that offers each and every data processing functionality, from data collection to data to knowledge extraction. Results, it is important to have secure IoT devices, platform applications, and infrastructures to avoid major catastrophes associated with massive breaches or attacks. Smart city technologies raise a number of cybersecurity concerns that require careful consideration and special attention. Most of the smart city strategies short in considering security risks. Then for the conclusion, I would like to conclude that smart cities and big data are two contemporary ideas that are crucial. Thus, many people have begun combining them to build smart city applications that will improve resilience, support sustainability, better asset management, and improve the overall life and quality of the citizens in a city. The value of smart city technology investment is ultimately realized through the use of data to strengthen the quality and efficiency of service and in turn improve the lifestyle of citizens. The future enhancements that can be made are enabling export and import of smart city analytical data models functionality to and from other analytical frameworks, research on using four-dimensional space for dynamic point clouds, defining smart city performance measures, key performance indicators, which can be basis for the evaluation of analytical frameworks. And these are the references. There were 10 research papers that were reviewed. Thank you.
Nice
So if
presentation, sir.
anybody is having any questions, they can raise their questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. You mentioned about KPIs, key
Yes.
performance indicators. Can you mention any one of the KPI?
So the KPIs are not yet mentioned. That was the future enhancement that should have been made so that we can evaluate the smart city models according to those principles or key points.
But from your point of view or your literature review study, can you mention
Yes.
any one KPI that on that basis you can measure the performance of smart city?
Okay, so with the increasing amount of data, the performance of the model should also be continuous. It shouldn't stop. So as big data has huge volumes of data, it becomes difficult for few of the models um, to process that information and analyze it in a short amount of time. So that can be one of the major bases of the KPIs.
Okay, good.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, then we go to the next presentation by Hassan Udinwala. Are you there? Paper ID is 1019. Predicting house price with deep learning, a comparative study of machine learning models. Hassan, are you there? But he must be hearing my voice. No? So we go for the next one then. Dheeraj Kurana and Gaurav Kochar.
Sir, we are here.
Okay,
Should we share our slides?
Yes, and keep your video on preferably while
Okay.
speaking.
Just
As
a minute.
per conference protocol, it is asked to keep video on.
Okay, sir. Okay. Firstly, let me share the slides.
All right then.
Just a minute, sir. Let me share. Sir, is it visible? But
yes, it is. It is. It is.
But it's not clearly visible to me itself, sir.
No, from yeah, you can make it full screen.
Full screen. I am looking for full screen options, sir.
Next to file, no file option, you might be having that screen symbol. Just see.
File. Are you finding more?
फाइल के बगल में you can see that टीवी का सिंबल होगा वहां पे. Just check.
हाँ सर है तो.
You go to view on full screen.
Grid view. It's a grid. No. Sir, just a minute, please.
Yeah. All right. Take your time.
A grid view. It's a grid view option, not a. Actually, we have not used it.
More actions. View slides in high contrast. No, change it. No. Change it.
Can you read it?
Yes, I can read it.
Sir, is it visible?
Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead. It is readable.
Okay.
Sir, my topic is an exploration of feature extraction and segmentation methods for medical disease prediction. First of all, what is medical images? Medical images are used for processing visible images of inner structure of the body for scientific and medicinal story. And we can say that we are using this phenomena for finding treatments as well as visible view of the function of internal parts of the body. That's why I choose these methods. First of all, I will discuss introductory part. Medical disease processing and classification methods are critical applications areas that require more accuracy and expert consultation. And the effectiveness of medical image processing and disease prediction requires a multi-level analysis. Uh, we use various kind of analysis. We use various methods, segmentation methods, as well as deep learning methods. In this slides, we will explain we are using both kinds of methods to diagnose the particular disease, that is glaucoma disease. The functionality, process, and responsibilities of medical image processing for disease prediction and detection are divided into four main stages. That is, these are the four stages. First is image cleaning. We should clean the image where we diagnose the disease and then extract ROI. ROI stand for region of interest, where we have doubt that this is the place where we find more critical situation. After that, we will feature extraction and filtration, and then we will detect the disease. These are the four stages where we will find the disease by using segmentation method or deep learning method. After that, as I explained you earlier, problem statement, that is medical image processing and disease prediction are critical real-time problems that require higher accuracy and performance. And medical images are high resolution images. In the segmentation method, we use various signals to find out the disease, but now we use high resolution images so that we can easily find the disease. And also, I have learned many things from these slides, and this is just a pictorial view. After that, we will do some practical applications also with the increasing time. In this slides, medical images are high resolution images that takes time in feature extraction and feature processing. Some segmentation method, as I told you earlier, is required to identify the disease region over the image by using ROI, region of interest. A segmentation selected method can improve the performance of disease prediction without affecting the accuracy. We have used at least 20 of papers of this field, but I only mentioned there are 4 papers about the CT scan and MRI images using wavelet based approach. The author used for multi-resolution analysis based segmentation method, and we use various other kind of, as I told you earlier, deep learning methods, images also for finding the high accuracy. And adapted and weighted method was proposed to perform pixel-based analysis on medical images. The reason priority was performed under local features to perform this segmentation. This method was applied on MRI and CT images. An edge region based segmentation method was defined to extracting the effective inner region. The proposed method improved the behavior and segmentation process over the medical images. The feature-driven analysis was performed to match the normal and edge area over the image. As I told you earlier, that is, we will find the region of interest where we have doubt that we have to find the disease, and after finding that disease, we will search more effective images, more applying some segmentation method. Other method also we have studied, that is intensity based method and pyramid based segmentation method and DWT. I'll explain about the DWT also. First of all, I will explain the methodology of what is intensity segmentation. That is M images, medical images. M images is the set of medical images. Divide the M images into smaller block, and then we will read each block one by one and perform the various steps. It is a methodology, that is algorithm, about how we will find that all these things, and then compute the intensity for same block for all MI images. First of all, we will convert all these things into the blog and search one by one, read the blog of each image one by one. After that, compute the intensity for same block of all MI images. Compute the average intensity of the all blocks. Find the difference. We will find the difference between the average intensity and intensity of any ith image. Apply the threshold condition to separate the region over the image. Threshold image is the threshold condition is the condition which is used to find that my image is normal or not. If we find any, when we apply the threshold condition, if we find any doubt, any problem in that area, we will search out, we will search that block, we will find that block and apply the threshold condition again to separate the region over the images. Move the block in particular segment based on the intensity threshold analysis. That is second methodology is pyramid based transformation. It uses a spatial frequency based analysis to perform the segmentation. First is intensity based, which is in which we convert the images into block size, and then it is pyramid based transformation. It is use spatial frequency also, spatial frequency based analysis to perform the segmentation. A fusion feature based method was also integrated with the medical image to apply the pyramid based transformation. It is the another methodology to find out the to diagnose the all the details of images. Third one is the most important one, discrete wavelet transformation, that is DWT. It is a wavelet based transformation and decomposition method. It is totally based on signals on the image on the frequencies band also. In this method, we will divide the image based on the frequency band. The property-driven decomposition is performed and the image is divided at row and column level under low and high frequency segment. After that, in this paper, a study of the, I will conclude myself, my topic. In this paper, a study of the significance and effective uses of the segmentation process is defined for medical images and medical disease prediction also. This paper has defined various segmentation methods. Even I am still working on a deep learning procedure also, so that I can improve my knowledge and find out some different procedures, how we use segmentation method with deep learning. And in this paper, we only defined various segmentation method. A detailed study of DWT and pyramid and intensity based segmentation method is defined in this paper also. In the future, a hybrid method, as I explained you earlier, that is deep learning and segmentation both, can be defined by integrating two or more segmentation method. The work can be improved by designing an adaptive method for identify the effective disease. As I mentioned you, that is glaucoma disease over the medical image. I have used many reference. We have studied 20 plus reference books. I just take only review of that books, but that papers. But I generally I only mention 3 or 4 papers about as I discuss in the slides also. That is, thank you so much, sir.
So, are you teaching or you are a student?
No, no, sir. I am student.
Okay, okay, all right. So, if there is any questions, you can ask, ma'am.
Why you want to integrate segmentation with deep learning?
Ma'am, actually, when I learn segmentation method from some many sources, from Google or from books, etc., we will find that segmentation method is good, but we will not find a good accuracy results. So I decided to find out some other methodology, and so we decided to take a machine learning method, which is a combination of neural network and as I discussed you earlier about the glaucoma disease. It is a retinal disease, and we will find that in this disease we required a high accuracy images. So I started to learn a new project based on deep learning, and we use the hybrid solution of these two things, and still I am working on it. Maybe it will work very soon, and I will explain you these things also.
Okay, okay, good. All the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So now we can go for the last presentation. That is by Chirag Wala. Are you there, Chirag?
Yes, sir.
So kindly present your topic and switch on the camera. Hello, Chirag.
Yes, sir.
He's presenting it.
Sir, I have a PPT in my phone, but I cannot get it how to share.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a PPT in my phone, but I don't know how to share it here. How should I share?
There is an option of sharing, no? Just open your
But
cell phone.
But it's opening the camera.
Try opening it again. Show us.
Wait, sir.
बोल रहा है वो शेयर कर रहा है. Meanwhile, I would just repeat that Dr. Meera Matthew and Miss Sefali Swati has not given their presentation. So are you there, Dr. Meera Matthew and Miss Sefali Swati? And Mahesh Kulkarni has also not given. Similarly, Miss Mehak Sheikh and her team, Mrunali Shirke, Elizabeth have not given. And then Navina Bane, Renuka Patle, Dr. Jyotsna Dongardive. They are into some other track. All right then. We are waiting for you, this Chirag Wala. Please present it.
Sir, I'm not getting an option on sharing. I opened a slide where I've created my PPT, but there is no option to share.
There must be an option. How can it possible that it is not an option?
In my slide, there is no option. I have an option of present on this device, but it is opening only on there.
Can you share
not
the
able-
screen of your phone first so that we can assist you?
Yes, sir, I have shared the screen.
It is coming. Yeah, see.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then you can present now.
My video is visible and my face
Yeah,
cam.
it is visible. Speak. Start speaking.
So my topic is medical expert system, and my name is Shira. So here I present this introduction. There is an expert system. An expert system is a computer software created to solve complicated issues and offer decision-making capabilities similar to those of a human expert. This is accomplished by the system retrieving information from its knowledge base in accordance with the user queries, utilizing reasoning and processes. And the medical expert system, there are many expert systems in the medical field. Any medical expert system main goal is to diagnose and treat the illness program, and the medical knowledge base are the foundation of a medical expert system. Knowledge gained by a medical
Chirag,
expert
please be
system.
loud. Please be loud.
Okay, sir. the knowledge gain medical expert system is comparable to the provider by expert in the field. Medical, the development of a medical expert system depends on the knowledge of specialists. This information is constructed in two stages. First phase formation is individual meeting with the doctor and patients. The medical condition of the disease are documented. The second phase involves the information of a deposit rule, each of which has if and then part contains symptoms and then part contains the disease that should be realized. Next is a problem statement. So problems that are healthy and prompt treatment of a disease required. If they are not handled in a timely manner, lying can lead to a variety of health issues, some of which may be fatal due to lack of practitioner medical facilities and specialists. These issues are getting worse. Studies have attempted to create and develop expert system that can provide guidance for doctor and patients to make patient diagnosis and treatment recommendation easier in effort to address the issue. So these are the problem statements of my literature review. I have not mentioned the name of the authors, but there are some literature reviews that I have reviewed, more than 10 paper I have reviewed, but I have selected 2 to 3 in which there are so many diseases we can go through and review that. To categorize the diabetic complaints using logistic regression, the problem variable for a diabetes complaint. And the next one is simplified colorful machine learning method for accurate prediction of an onset of habitual complaints. Then there is a methodology about. So first we need some data set. First we need some data set to help us train our model and gain some insight. As a result, we can conduct some survey in the medical area, look up some data online, and then combine all of the data to create a raw data set. We now possess a data set. After gathering the data, we must prepare it because it is raw and it will be used in train our machine learning model. We have prepared the data for machine learning model by using certain Python tools, including NumPy and Pandas. Uh, uh, so we collect the data as you can see in the flow chart that a user has the username, ages, tentative disease, and symptoms. We collect that from the user and uh, I try to fit in our model, and the model check that the which disease the patient has, and give them a diagnosis prescription as per the doctor have preferred. So this was a methodology and result and discussion. Different machine learning models were employed to analyze the illness prediction for the input data set that was made public. Number are fluctuated based on the data set. An emergency doctor and the other medical personnel are constantly needed. Whenever the problems get in, so doctor have to be ready for the treatment. These are the results and discussion. So next is the conclusion. The described method for diagnosing a patient condition based on the symptoms, age, gender, uh, weighted KNN model. We are using KNN model in here. Provide utilizing the parameter illness prediction had the best accuracy of 93.5. Nearly ML model produced good accuracy value. Some model couldn't forecast the illness and had low accuracy rates. Since they were dependent on the parameter, we could simply manage the medical resources need for the therapy once the sickness was predicted. So this was the conclusion for future enhancement. As machines are becoming powerful and intelligent day by day, sooner they will acquire much potential to perform highly complex and qualified tasks. The day is very near when machine would provide better decision than human, able to learn and repair themselves and able to design algorithm to make better version of them. themselves and can surpass human intelligence. So these are the references I have used, and there are more than this, but I have not mentioned here. And that is it. Any questions?
Chirag, just one question.
Yes, ma'am.
How expert system is different from chatbot?
Uh,
Chatbot.
on chatbot, I have not done it with the chatbot.
Do you think chatbot uses expert systems?
Yes, chatbot uses the expert system, but I've used it in a medical expert system. So how the chatbot works and how this, I don't exactly know that.
No problem. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, is it over?
Hello, I guess Sneha Nathwani is going to present. Sneha, have you joined? No reaction. Sneha, Prakash, and Panak. Still they are joining. We need to wait for 2 minutes and then a couple of more presenters are there.
Hello, sir.
So are we having three people, Sneha, Kanak, and Prakash in the meeting? I don't think they have joined. So just 2 minutes, we'll wait for them to join. Chaya ma'am, just 2 minutes. Some more students are wanting to present into this track.
Okay, okay, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So I can see Sneha joining the meeting. Sneha, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am here.
So now you can present.
Okay, so I'll just share my slides.
Please be quick because we are running short of time. And make sure
Yeah.
that you wind up your presentation within 5 to 7 minutes. A bell will ring. That will be a final reminder to close your presentation.
Oh, okay, sir.
હું અહીંયા બોલું છું.
Has sir, સાંભળું છું. Yes, sir, is the screen visible? Uh,
Yes, it
Hello.
is visible. You can speak now, Sneha.
Yeah, okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Neha Natwani, and my topic is implementation of techniques to avoid cyber attacks. So, to start with, I'll just go with the introduction part first. That life has become more and more comfortable with the spread of various digital technologies and services with the internet. And also, there are many good things because of the internet. Like we are able to connect to the world very fast, but with that also we have some bad points, like it gives an attackers to attack via internet or network. So this is a big problem also because of the internet. So the next point, I'll go with what is the cyber attack. So when there is an unauthorized system or a network accessed by the third party, it is called as cyber attacks. And the defenders also cover all the potential weaknesses, and attackers also need to discover the one. So cyber attacks have many negative effects. It results lost data, data alteration, or data breach, and many more things. So going ahead, I'll just go with types of cyber attacks. So there are many types of cyber attacks, as you can see on the screen, but I won't be explaining all. I'll go with few which are important. The first one I'll go that is malware attack. So a malware attack is the malicious software which is introduced into the computer system or the network with the intention of causing harm, stealing the data, or gaining unauthorized access, such as viruses, worms, trojans, ransomware, spyware, and etc. So the next one I'll go with is the phishing attack. So phishing is a sort of cyber attack in which attacker poses a reputable business, such as bank or online merchant or any other social networking platform. In They just sort of create a fake link, like if it is Amazon, I'm just giving an example. So it gives like Amazon, so Amazon. So the fake link can be like Amozon double N. So what this links like, they use the name of the reputed companies and then create the attack. So next I will go is the password attack. So in the password attack, an attacker attempts to figure out like they just assume few passwords, like if it can be someone birth dates or email IDs or something related to it. So they just assume the passwords related to that
Mona,
person.
sorry for
Yeah.
interruption. Don't talk
Yes.
about these types of attacks. We already know this. Talk about your
Okay.
work.
Okay, sure, sure. So this I got the top 20 countries a diagram in which it says that most of the attack carry on in US, which is 23%, and in India it is here about 3%. And minimum it is there in Israel and Australia. The next I'll go with the techniques which are used to avoid the cyber attacks. So first it is securing coding practices. So in this, security should be built up into the code at every step, like buffer overflows, SQL injection, and cross-site scripting are the vulnerabilities that can be avoided with the use of such secure coding techniques. Next it is test application security. So regular security testing should be carried out to find any potential flaws and such like that. The third one is use proper of authentication and authorization techniques. So users also should use proper authentication and authorization. They should implement two-way authentication, changing of the passwords regularly. Next, it is implementation of proper security controls. They should implement TLS and SSL encryptions. Then they can perform regular security audits. They can educate the users, enforce access controls, etc. Next, it is monitor and log activity. And this logging and monitoring activities on the system can help to detect the suspicious behavior. They can just monitor and log any changes to the code database, or monitor and log the user activity, monitor and log the application performance, and such like that. Next, it is secure storage of sensitive data. Sensitive data should be encrypted and stored in the secured locations. Next, it is keeping the software and operating system up to date. So, problem statement, I'll go with the it is essential for the organization to identify, like it is all the organizations should just implement it. And the study focuses on the gathering of the information from the software developers who are there in this domain. Ahead, I have just carried out a survey related to the cyber attacks, which was sent across to the developers, and questions that were asked, were they aware of the cyber attacks techniques? What do they use? In which state do they use? These all questions were asked. Next, in the literature review. We just reviewed I just reviewed 8 to 10 papers and was able to find that there are many types of attacks, and there are not as many techniques. I got to know about it during the time of the development. It was more saying about the user authentication and everything, so I just wanted to know more about the development side. So I just passed on the survey to the developers. And most of the common techniques which I found during this reviewing of the paper, I found it included of firewalls, antivirus software, IDS, and authentication systems. So the methodology which I used, it was literature review, the first one. This was carried out to have a look on the implementation of the technologies in
Please
the
wind up
cyber
fast.
attacks. Yeah. The technologies, then it was a data collection. I just collected the data from the various sources. I just analyzed the data. Then a survey was carried out, which I mentioned before, and then we went on the conclusion. Result and discussion. A survey was created using the Google Forms. I was able to get the 32 respondents with experience of 2 to 7 years, and these are the responses as follows. A few questions like name and organization I've avoided here. Then the main questions, like it starts from types of cyber attacks that they are aware of. So I found the majority of the developers are aware of malware, phishing, man in the middle, SQL injection, and minimum of them know about the zero day exploit and watering hole attack. They were aware of the techniques that needed to be considered. Like 82% of them were aware of the such techniques. So I just gave them an open-ended question over here, like what techniques should they use, like they considered while developing the application to avoid cyber attacks. So this were the, these are just few which responses I got. I have not put everything here. So the SQL queries should be perfect with no backdoor. Then they provide SSL certification. They do regression testing, QA, decentralization of the database, block spyware attacks, keeping session tracker which track the sessions of all the users, and scripting security. Let's just like the OTP thing. And how much per the next question was, in how much percentage the cyber attacks can be avoided while using the techniques. So majority of them think that 31 to 60% of the attacks only can be avoided using that techniques. The rest of them were was there in between 61 to 80%, and minimum we found in 10 to 30 or 81 to 90%. So we gave them to rate on the scale from 1 to 5, like were this techniques enough. So we got responses like on the 3, which is approx 50%, this techniques will be enough. Then we asked like on the which stage from the SDLC life cycle they think like it is preferred. So we got majority for 32.1% saying that at the development stage they take care of to implement to avoid cyber attacks. And then the question was, how does it affect on the performance of the website? So we got responses like it increases the load time, response time, it gets increased, it takes more memory and more time for the executing. So then we asked like if there are any requirement from the client side or the developer, or they do as the part of their job. So they most of them said as an answer that as a developer they implement it as their part of their job, and there is no like such requirement from the client side. So on coming to the conclusion of the paper, we came to the conclusion that developers were aware of the cyber attacks, but only 31 to 60% can be avoided. Also, this is taken care in the development stage from the software development life cycle, and there can be problems like a load response time, it takes more memory while using these techniques. And also the majority we got was like users should be aware of the preventive measures. What all can be done. The future enhancement, like I want to focus more on the technologies which will be applicable to
Please
mobile
conclude.
as well as website development, and it is used to
Neha,
avoid cyber
please
attacks.
conclude.
Yeah, it's done. These are the references. Thank you if any questions are there.
Ma'am, you can ask any questions if you want to.
Are you aware, or can you differentiate between IDS and IPS?
Yes, definitely. IDS is intrusion detection system, and IPS, right?
Hmm.
Sorry.
Yes, IPS.
Yeah. So IPS is intrusion prevention system. IDS is it just detects what we say. It monitors the network, like network traffic. It monitors everything, and IPS it is a part of the network security.
So you will focus on IDS or IPS?
I will focus on IDS.
Okay, only the detection part, not the prevention
Yeah,
part.
detection. For now, since I'm just detecting it, but for future enhancement, I'll think of IPS also.
Okay, good.
So next, Prakash, you can present quickly. Who's ready? Prakash. Yeah, Khanak, anybody who's ready? Prakash Anmeen and Urvi Rathod. Your screen is visible now, present. And please make sure that you don't exceed the time limit given. Okay, once the bell rings, you do wind up. Go ahead. Unmute and go ahead. Unmute. You're not audible. Increase the volume of computer. Try speaking. No, you're not audible.
Prakash, you can do one thing. You can just join for the audio from the mobile and speak from the mobile and just share the screen from here. You can do this thing.
Maybe Khanak, you can do it. Khanak, if you're ready, please don't waste time. Let them do it. जल्दी करो. Hello, Kanak. Prakash, Amin, you can stop sharing. Let Kanak present.
Prakash and Kanak, I'm sharing the link with you. Join from that link through mobile.
Arey,
Okay.
but let
Then
them
you can share the.
unmute it. No, they have not unmuted themselves.
No, they
Unmute.
are not able to, I guess.
How
They are
can
not
they
able
not?
to speak. They can be, yeah. See, they have unmuted, but they are not able to speak.
So they can join from cell phone and speak.
Yeah, I'm just telling the same thing. I'll just share the link with them. Give me a moment.
Yes.
Hello.
Kanak,
Yes.
echo is coming. You can just check that.
Echo is there, but now you're audible.
Just mute the computer and save from the mobile and just share from the mobile. Just keep the mobile on the speaker mode.
Lower the sound of computer and speak from
Hello.
cell phone.
Hello.
Yes, now clear.
Yeah,
Go
audible.
ahead. Yes, go ahead now. Share screen and quickly start speaking.
एक सेकंड इसमें से ऑफ कर रही हूँ.
Okay.
Hello.
Prakash, just keep the computer on mute and speak from mobile.
Okay. Hello, sir. Can you hear us?
Yes, quickly चलो जल्दी करो.
Mute it. sir. वॉइस आ रहा है.
आ रहा है जल्दी करो. आप आ रहा है वॉइस. आप शेयर करो पहले स्क्रीन को.
मेरे Hello.
Yes, Prakash, you're audible. You can just go with the presentation.
Thank you. Can you see my screen?
Start speaking.
Yes,
It is
yes.
visible.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I, Prakash Sami.
And I'm Urvi Rathod.
We are going to present our review paper on phishing attacks. Before starting with the topic, I would like to share an interesting story with you all. Suppose Urvi is chilling at home when she receives a message from the
Screen
bank.
is not visible.
Sir, it is visible.
Not on
For
my
me, it
side.
is visible. You can spin, I guess. It is visible. Like,
Madam, can you confirm? Chaya ma'am?
The slides are visible, slideshow is not visible. They should start slideshow.
Prakash, do it in the presentation mode.
Presentation.
Yeah, up F5 ऊपर सेव के बाजू में बटन है presentation. हाँ, from beginning कर दे. Yeah, from beginning. Click on from beginning.
It's not working.
And please make sure that you wind up in 5 to 7 minutes.
F5.
Time is limited.
It's not
Just
working.
press F5. 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 Press F5.
It's working in our screen, but
Achha, it's working on your screen. Then it is not shared properly. Just share and share the whole screen. Then you will be able to just show the presentation mode. You have just shared the PPT. That's why.
Entire screen. Sure. Now it is okay.
now can you see the
Yes, you can go ahead with that.
You can go ahead, but keep in mind that within 5 to 7 minutes, you have to wind up the presentation. Okay, we are running short of time. Start quickly.
uh, suppose Urvi is chilling at home when she receives a message from the bank asking her to update her credit card PIN within next 24 hours. She thought this is for security measure. So she opened the link and entered her current PIN and new PIN. When she entered the new PIN, it shows some error message. So she thought the server is down. After a few hours, she received a message on her phone that some purchase has been done from a credit card. So she immediately contacted the bank and she got to know that she got scammed. This is a classic example of phishing attack. Phishing attack is a software engineering attack where our attackers try to uh, send a malicious link to the target to get his login credential. In our case, Uri was the victim of the phishing attacks, and the hacker used email with a malicious link as a bait to trap her. This is an example of phishing attack. Problem statement. Nowadays, even the 10 years children have access to internet, so there are various cyber crimes happening in the world, out of which uh, phishing attacks are most common. So our aim of the paper is to review different types of phishing attacks and anti-phishing techniques, anti-phishing tools, and we have done some case studies regarding it. Literature review. Kristen Lund investigated in his paper on effectiveness of techniques to detect phishing sites. As Hanzo and other researchers uh, did some research on phishing attacks in modern Android, which in modern Android phone, it is a breeding ground for phishing attacks. B.B. Gupta developed an anti-phishing technique to detect phishing websites. Sate introduced email filtering strategy which helps to detect phishing email, exception phishing.
So here are some steps in phishing. First step is planning. A hacker is plan about how to trap victim and start collecting information about him. Then he set up set up fake website like malicious website to collect data from the victim. After that, hacker attack the victim after sending the mail or any text message of the malicious website. Start code data collection. When the target opens the link and the data got leaked by hacker, then that's how victim got scammed by hacker. Post attack. Post attack hacker misuse the data collected from the victim. It's called post attack. Types of phishing attacks. There are various types of phishing attack. Here we have mentioned some of them like email phishing, HTTPS phishing, spear phishing, mailing phishing, smishing, etc. Smishing. In smishing, text message is sent to the target, and when the target opens the link and enter his details, data got leaked by to the hacker. Let's see how to identify smishing. There is a number. If a number is different from normal company number, then you have to once check from bank the message. A message looks suspicious in this case. At least your bank name should be mentioned. If bank name is not mentioned, then you have to contact the bank for sure. Do not click on the link. The link seems if the link seems too short, instead of you can go the official website of the bank and go and check there. Spear phishing. In spear phishing, attacker sends the phishing emails to the user. If the target user in the target user open the email and break by malicious content, the target system get compromised. Then the rat is installed in the system. Rat gives additional access, internal access to the hacker and the internal network. Now the hacker will all the data to This details how attacker will do commit fraud. Farming. In this attacker upload the fake DNS entry and user try to log in into the original website, but redirect to phishing site. Example: we want to log in into Facebook and we missed the right Facebook instead of Facebook.
Excuse me, just sorry for interrupt, Urvi. You're talking about phishing attacks or how to prevent phishing attacks?
Types of phishing attack.
That we know, na? That is from theory.
I'm just telling that what kind of phishing attacks are there and how to identify which account is which type.
Okay, go ahead.
This is a farming account.
Anti-phishing technique. We have mentioned 3 anti-phishing techniques in our paper. First is automatic individual whitelist. In this, it helps to track the login UI and alert the user if any information is added to the unsecured website. The second is speed feature. It compares the similarity between the fake and the real website. This helps to defend against phishing attacks. And the third technique is support vector machine. It analyzes the language design of the email and determines the email is fake or not. Anti-phishing tools. There are micro defender, branching, and then put together brand Barracuda, Sentinel, Profence, and Mimica. And we have done some case studies. First case study is about Twitter. In July 2020, high-profile Twitter accounts were targeted, like of Joe Biden, Elon Musk, and various celebrities. In this, the attacker
Prakash,
yes, sir.
Wind up early, please.
Okay, sir.
Go to the main part and wind up early.
So it is the ending, sorry. The attackers get the login details. It is Twitter employee and the scam was about Bitcoin, which generated 100,000 Bitcoin. And before Twitter could do anything, it also raised concern about the Twitter security measure. And the second case is about apportionment. From this, we can conclude that phishing attacks are very serious and widespread threat in the world, and we can use anti-phishing software tools and two-step verification to avoid getting from phishing attacks. Thank you, sir.
What is the first thing you should do if you find that you fall for a phishing scam?
Sorry, what?
When you come to know that you are a target of phishing attack, what is the first thing you should do?
You should always check if the message is legitimate or not.
You open that message, you already become a target of the phishers. So what is the first step you'll do?
You should first block our credit cards and our account, and then we have to contact immediately the police or
the bank.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, so Prakash, you have done with this, no?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Khanak is there?
Yes, ma'am. Khanak.
Yeah. Yeah, just start your presentation. Prakash, stop sharing.
Ma'am, I think this is last one, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. This one is the last one, and then we will conclude the session.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Khanak. Yes, Khanak.
Ma'am, is the
share
screen
your
visible?
Yeah, screen is visible. Share your presentation.
Yes.
Yeah, we could see your MS Teams. Go to presentation. Share your entire screen so that we could see your presentation also.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Khanak, go ahead. Now we can
Yes,
see your
ma'am.
presentation. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. So good evening to one and all. So my topic for presentation is study of automatic train stop system in Kavach and in American trains. So basically this topic which I suggested to choose is about the automatic train stop system. Let us quickly begin with the introduction. So let us study what is ATS. So ATS stands for Automatic Train Stop System. It is a system which helps the railroads or Indian railways to prevent the accidents caused by the trains. Even this help us if the train is going too fast or out of alignment with the tracks, it automatically applies the brake to slow it down or to stop it altogether. Now, the second thing which come to our mind is what is Kavach. Kavach is a system developed by the Indian Railways. It is used to help to stop the trains automatically. Even if there is any obstacle on the track, the train will automatically stop, or to prevent a collision between the trains. The Kavach system is installed in several high-speed trains. It is being used in more than 10,000 trains across the India. Same like Kavach, the American trains also have this system. It is known as Amtrak ACL. Amtrak ACL is also ATS based system, that is automatic train stop system, which is used to control the speed and the movement of the train on the north corridor of the Amtrak rail network. It is also designed to reduce the speed and to safely operate the speed. Let us begin with the problem statement. The problem statement of Kavach. Sorry. The Kavach system is basically designed by the Indian Railways. It uses the radio frequency identification technology. It is designed in such a way that it automatically detects the obstacle on the track and stop the train to prevent from the collision. Same like Amtrak trains. Amtrak trains is also designed with advanced ATS system, where the system assures the safety of the passengers and the crew members. It uses advanced sensors and algorithms to detect the presence of an obstacle in the path and automatically activates the brake to bring the train to their stop. The literature review of the Kavach is that literature review, it is developed by the Indian Railways, which is designed to automatically stop the train if it passes a signal at danger. It is based on AWS. AWS stands for Automatic Warning System technology, developed by the United Kingdom, UK. It was firstly introduced in Bangalore in 2017. It has several other features like ASC, automatic speed control, ARC, automatic route control, and etc. Even in Amtrak ACLs was developed by the United States. It was based on AWS, automatic warning system technology. Further moving on result, the Kavach is an Indian ATSS which supports and facilitates the safe and secure and efficient operations of the trains. It is designed to be compatible with existing signal system and to provide a reliable and economic solutions for the Indian Railways. It has been installed in many of the places in India like Delhi, Kolkata, Lucknow, Mumbai, and even in Chennai. According to the reports, it has been estimated that this system has saved Indian Railways over $7 million. If the train is going too fast or too slow, it is capable to handle the speed of the train accordingly. It is evenly capable of identifying the exact location of the train and then can communicate this information to the driver. The result and discussion of Amtrak ACL are the main advantages of Amtrak ACL is that it helps to improve the safety of the passengers and the crew members. It can also automatically stop the train before an accident occurs. It helps to reduce the number of accidents. It is installed in many places in US, including Boston, New York, and Washington, etc. According to report, it is stated that this system has saved Amtrak over $10 million. In conclusion, both the Kavach and Amtrak ACL ATS system have their advantages and disadvantages. Kavach is an advanced system that is being implemented by Indian Railways, while Amtrak is more advanced system being implemented on ACL Express network in United States. Both systems help to improve the safety of the respective networks and expected to be fully operational by the end of 2021. Future enhancement. It has many future enhancement Like first, we will move with improved safety features. Both the system has well-developed and advanced safety features such as automatic emergency brakes, improved sensors, collision avoidance in the systems, etc. Moving on to automated scheduling. Both of this system has automatic scheduling. It tells us about accurate prediction, arrival time, and departure time. Like example, the app which we all use, M indicators in our mobile phones, it also tells us about the arrival time of the train, predicted arrival time of the trains. Just like that, it is an example of an automated scheduling. Automatic train speed adjustment. So both of these technologies or both of these systems have special features. So sorry. Okay. Both of these features have both of these system have special features of train speed adjustment system, which can adjust the speed of the train based on weather and traffic conditions. Improved communication systems. Improved communication system is integrated with the advanced and enhanced communication system, which can provide real-time update, delay, and other information. Improved passenger services. The system provides a passenger with automated ticketing system, that is e-ticket, or mobile apps. If, for example, IRCTC application by Indian Railways, which help us for the booking of the tickets. Improved maintenance. But the maintenance can be helpful for the rail network to reduce the number of delays and the overall reliability. Connectivity. It enhances the connectivity with different parts of the rail network, which can help improve the overall efficiency of the system. This can be implemented by introducing new technologies such as Wi-Fi, satellite communication, etc. Advanced network technologies. Introducing advanced technologies such as 5G, IoT, that is Internet of Things, can help to improve the efficiency and reliability of the systems. Improved security. By improving the security of railway will help to reduce the accident and the delays. Here are some references of the paper. And that's all. Thank you.
You talked about the systems which are already in working.
Yes, ma'am.
So what you are going to do? What is your
Ma'am, this was a review literature paper where I was doing a comparison between Indian system Kavach and American system Amtrak Asia. I was just doing a comparison paper.
Okay, but that is your work?
Yes, ma'am. Means my research paper was based on this comparison paper between these two systems.
Okay, good.
So sorry.
Okay, no problem. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chaya ma'am. Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am, for listening to our presentations, participants' presentations and all. Yeah, ma'am, you can give feedback to them regarding what kind of papers they have presented, what you have observed and all. Okay.
It is difficult to present entire work in 5 to 7 minutes, but what I can say after listening to all these presentations is everyone has done their work very well. Many papers were research papers and review papers. So they had done a quite vast literature review and presented it in well. Only one or two implemented versions I have seen here. So what I can say is go ahead. Now you have findings of your literature review. Try to implement it, compare it with the existing research, and that's all. Lastly, I just want to thank you for inviting me as a session chair and very well organized conference.
Thank you.
Can I leave, ma'am? Thank you all. I'm leaving this session.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, organizers, for arranging such a great workshop and giving us opportunity to present our research work. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
May we leave?